Hey, I'm Becky Peterson, Education Facilitator with Skills Canada, Alberta. Here at Skills Canada, Alberta, we promote skilled trade and technology careers as a first choice career option for the youth of Alberta. We offer a variety of competitions and programs to help equip young minds with the skills and tools needed to pursue a career they are passionate about. So check out our website, Facebook, and Instagram pages to learn more about all the amazing programs we have to offer. Speaking of amazing programs, I'm super excited to highlight our junior high program, Skills Exploration Days. This how-to video was created to help guide teachers through the process and to ensure your students will have a great time. This is an opportunity for teachers and junior high students, so grades 7, 8, and 9, to participate in an authentic and meaningful skill trade and technology career exploration experience. Building on the Maker Day model, the goal is to encourage the use of empathy through design thinking, inquiry, and making. Skills Exploration Days happens in 2 phases. The first phase happens in the classroom, where teachers are required to introduce the design challenge and facilitate the human-centered design thinking activity. Well, that was a mouthful, but don't worry. This video is aimed at breaking it all down into easy-to-follow steps. The second phase happens at Skills Exploration Days, where students will use tools to build a prototype. All right, so let me break everything down for you into easy-to-follow steps. All right, so step 1 is to visit the Skills Exploration Days website. You'll find it at www.skillsalberta.com. All you have to do is place your mouse over the Programs and Events tab and scroll down and click on Skills Exploration Days. So here you'll find a quick video to show you what a day of exploration looks like. And you'll also find all videos, presentations, and worksheets on the side here as well. So step number 2 is to read the teacher guide. The teacher guide provides helpful information such as dates, online registration instructions, and a schedule of the day. You can view the design challenge and helpful websites related to the topic. And there's also a sample Learn a Skill Station floor plan and a list of tools and materials that we have provided in the toolkit to help build the prototype at Skills Exploration Days. The third step is to watch this teacher video. So I've created this how-to video to help teachers while they're in the classroom how to use the Skills Exploration Days teacher presentation while facilitating the human-centered design thinking activity and worksheets. Step 4 is to watch the tool safety videos. These are mandatory videos that teachers must watch, and they're videos demonstrating how to safely use the tools that are included in your toolkits. Step 5 is to use the teacher presentation. The teacher presentation is a step-by-step guide for teachers to use in their classrooms during the first phase of Skills Exploration Days. This presentation should be used to complete the human-centered design thinking worksheet. The presentation makes completing the worksheet a breeze by staying on time with timers and gives students visual prompts to follow while completing their own worksheets in approximately 60 to 90 minutes. We will dive much deeper into the teacher presentation very soon, and I'll show you how you can use it in your classroom. Step 6 is to research the design challenge. A design challenge is an engaging topic that encourages students to focus on empathy and human-centered concerns. It is important to take time to research and understand the concepts and vocabulary terms embedded in the challenge. The more background knowledge the students gain, the more successful they will be during the in-classroom activity, which will then result in a very creative and meaningful prototype. Step 7 is to facilitate the human-centered design thinking worksheet. So students must understand that they will not be designing a prototype for themselves, but must put themselves into the shoes of their partner to gain empathy and design a prototype to meet the needs of their partner. So using the teacher presentation, teachers will facilitate the design thinking process as students work in partners to complete this human-centered design thinking worksheet. Students will sketch their $1 million prototype design in the final prototype sketch section. This final sketch will then be used as a blueprint to build the prototype. Remember to create a title for your prototype. You will soon see how nicely this worksheet fits with the teacher presentation. And here's a little bonus, the Taking Making into Classrooms toolkit. And this provides background information on the maker movement, design thinking, maker spaces, and assessment tools, all while making connections and references to the Alberta CTF Program of Studies. For participation in Skills Exploration Days, please take notes of sections 1 to 6. See section 12 for 31 sample design challenges teachers can use in their classrooms today. All right, so I know what you're thinking. Skills Exploration Day sounds amazing and I want to participate. But what? I have to do work in my classroom first? Don't worry, we have done all the prep work for you so that classroom activities will be a breeze when using the teacher presentation found here on the website. It is highly recommended that teachers begin the classroom activity about a week, if not more, before attending Skills Exploration Days. Each student should have a copy of the design challenge and the human-centered design thinking worksheet. So let me show you how they all work together. All right, so just simply click on this teacher presentation link to view the presentation. So the presentation starts off with a 4-minute video to get your students pumped about the design thinking process and getting to build a prototype. So what does a day of skills exploration look like? Well, it will look different this year as we will be hosting it virtually. Registered teachers will still have to facilitate the in-classroom design challenge and activities, but Skills Canada Alberta will be supplying each school with a toolkit full of tools and materials to help support the building process. So on the morning of the event, registered schools will join us virtually as they will be welcomed by the Skills Alberta team and listen to some important safety rules. For the next 2.5 hours, hundreds of junior high students across Alberta will visit multiple Learn a Skill stations to learn career-related skills and knowledge by working with a variety of tools and materials to build their prototype. Teachers at each school will be responsible for setting up and running the Learn a Skill stations, tools, and materials. But don't worry, we have provided a sample floor plan in the teacher guide. Once the prototype has been completed and a title page has been created, students will virtually participate in a gallery tour that allows them to see other prototypes, ask questions, and demonstrate how they work. Last but not least, teachers and students will appraise their skills and knowledges by completing a student reflection and evaluation. Okay, so how do I get my students to design a meaningful prototype? By using the design thinking process. You will hear design thinking a lot in this video, but this process truly is the building blocks of Skills Exploration Days. Design thinking is unique because it is human-centered and starts by understanding the people you are trying to design for. What are their concerns and what is most important to them? By using the design thinking process, students design a solution based on the needs of a partner, not themselves. This 2-minute video will introduce the concept of human-centered design thinking to your students. Skills Canada Alberta believes the design thinking process is important because unlike some of our other programming, which is very criteria and outcome-based, Skills Exploration Days focuses on a process that leads students into exploratory experiences, which involves problem finding, authentic learning, and collaboration. Because we want students to create a meaningful and authentic prototype, instead of giving students a blueprint and just telling them to build a desk, we are now guiding them to build a desk that could meet the needs and wishes of students in their school with or without disabilities. So the design thinking process involves 5 steps: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. The first 3 stages happen in the classroom, and the last 2 stages happen at Skills Exploration Days. So let's quickly look at each step. Empathize. In this stage, students will gain empathy by understanding the feelings of their partner. They must see the world from a different perspective by walking in the shoes of their partner. Define. Students will define the problem they are trying to solve. Ideate. Students will brainstorm and draw as many creative ideas as possible to help solve their partner's problem. Prototype. So this stage will happen at Skills Exploration Days as students build their prototype. And test. This is the last stage to happen during the gallery tour, as students get to share their prototype and demonstrate how it works. Okay, so are you ready to facilitate the classroom activities with your students? First, you must introduce the design challenge. We cannot stress how important it is to take time and research the concepts embedded in the design challenge and understand vocabulary terms. The more background knowledge the students gain, the more successful they will be during the human-centered design thinking activity. Once the design challenge has been introduced, vocabulary has been discussed, and concepts have been researched, it is now time to begin the human-centered design thinking activity. At this point, it is important that your classroom is configured to allow students to work in groups of 4. In their group of 4, students will now break into pairs of 2. Get students to decide who is partner A and who is partner B. A little tip, make it easier for students to decide. For example, the youngest student is A and the oldest student is B. We will now start the first stage of the design thinking process, empathize. One way to gain empathy is by having a good conversation or interview with the partner to find out what they know about the topic. So these are the who, what, where, when, why, and how questions. As you can see, we have included some conversation starters and question prompts to help guide the interview process. So announce that partner A will have 3 minutes to interview partner B. It is important that partner A keeps notes on this worksheet. Don't worry, we have also included some handy timers throughout the presentation to help keep everyone on time. Once the 3-minute timer is up, partner B will now have 3 minutes to interview partner A. It is important that partner B now keeps notes on this worksheet. Now on to the second stage of the design thinking process, define. What is the problem your partner is trying to solve? This stage is done quietly and independently for 3 minutes to allow each student to collect their thoughts and create a final statement about what problem their partner is trying to solve and why. Ideate is the third stage. Using the statement they've just created, students will have 10 minutes to draw some ideas that will solve the problem. It may be helpful if students use words and arrows to help describe their sketches. Encourage students to add as much detail as possible. The sketching should be done quietly and independently, as students will get to share their ideas very soon. Now it is time for students to share their ideas with their partner, gain some feedback, and redesign one idea. It is important to remind students that a critical friend means they care enough to look closely to the ideas and give constructive feedback. They should ask questions like, help me understand what this part is. How is this solving the problem? I'm unclear about this part. Partner A will have 3 minutes to share their sketches with partner B. So partner A should write any notes or feedback that partner B shares. Then partner B will have 3 minutes to share their sketches with partner A, and partner B should write any notes or feedback that partner A shares. Students will now redesign one idea based on the feedback given by their partner. This is an opportunity to redesign an old idea or create something completely new. This is the sketch students will be sharing with their original group of 4. So students need to make sure it includes a lot of detail so they can easily explain it to others. Once all 4 students in the group have had the opportunity to share their individual sketches, the group must now decide which idea is the best solution to the design challenge. Do they have to make modifications to a design or maybe combine ideas? Once the $1 million idea has been chosen, everyone in the group needs to sketch it on the final prototype sketch section. This will now be the blueprint to use while building at Skills Exploration Days. Oh, and don't forget to create a title. Congratulations! You've just completed the human-centered design thinking process. Now it is time to facilitate your own students through the process and create some amazing designs. Be sure to follow Skills Canada Alberta on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and use the hashtag ABIsskilled to showcase any photos of your students building. If you do have any questions or concerns about Skills Exploration Days, please contact me at beckyp@skillsalberta.com. We hope to see you all virtually at Skills Exploration Days.